We actually designed an atrium in the middle of the house with a slide that goes from the top through the atrium effectively on the outside and exits back inside the house. You know how we are always looking for new features and new interesting things to do in homes so that they become a wow feature within a home. So in this particular home, we actually designed an atrium in the middle of the house with a slide that goes from the top through the atrium effectively on the outside and exits back inside the house. So this client has quite a few children, and they actually wanted this as an entertainment area for the kids inside the home. In this home, it's quite a difficult layout on the site because we have a one long edge and a short edge that actually tapers to a narrower end. And that end is actually the side that is facing north, and that side actually also faces onto a park. So the design was quite complicated because we're trying to make the house as wide as we can, facing northwards onto the park entertainment area, but also the depth of the design starts becoming a problem because we're trying to pack so many different accommodation requirements within the plan. In this home, when we enter into a stunning double volume space, and directly in front of you, we have got this atrium with the stainless steel slide that we have designed that actually goes into this. So it'll actually look like a sculptural object inside of that garden or outside space, but it is uniquely connected from the inside, going through the outside and back into the inside again. And then at the top, as you enter, we have then got a stunning bridge that runs across there, so that on the one side you actually access that slide and you look into that volume, and to the other side you actually overlook the double volume of the entrance space. So it's really a spectacular space as you enter. We actually do have the reveal of this home already, so if we get 200 likes, we will then reveal this within the next release. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Something which is a unique feature in this home, and we actually utilized the slope of the stand in order to achieve this. We have got a sloping stand that actually slopes towards the northern side, and what we actually did is when you enter, there's a level difference from your entrance to your dining area, and as a result of those 3 stairs that we go down, we actually end up with almost a 1.5 volume space in all of the rest of the house at the bottom. In your family room, in your dining room, in your kitchen, in your lounge, in your bar, and your covered patio, we all have a very raised ceiling in that area, and we'll actually show you what we did in order to reduce the volumes and still define the spaces within that shape, actually. What's also very unique, and you will see this on our reveal, is the way that the spaces blend together. So they are each identified uniquely, but each space actually flows together, and it actually forms a beautiful area that you can open up onto your covered patio. So it's that blending of the inside-outside space, that blurring of the boundary that we have spoken about in the past, which we do because it actually creates a very beautiful, uniform entertainment area, but each space is still identified. There are many ways that you can actually identify a space. So you can do it by floor finish. You can do it just by changing the nature of the floor finish in that space to define it. You can do it with bulkheads and ceilings, as we've pointed out on some of the videos before, where you can either have bulkheads that define that space, or you can have different shaped bulkheads in different areas to actually define those areas. You can do it with various color palettes on the walls, so you can do, let's say, a stone finish in one of the spaces, and you can change it to a wooden finish in another space. And you can also identify them with height. So some spaces being a bit more intimate and compressed, and other spaces having a slightly higher lofty feel. So each one of these elements played down together actually make a different effect within each one of those spaces. One other way of also doing it is actually lighting. So you can create different mood lighting by maybe some rooms only doing downlighters. Other rooms you can do strip lighting. Other rooms you can do wall lighting. So each one of these, once again, creates a whole different atmosphere, a whole different mood within that space, especially during the nighttime. Natural lighting, you're always trying to get a lot of natural lighting within, because the natural lighting makes it not necessary to put in artificial lighting, and artificial lighting costs money, and we are all trying to fight that battle with our electricity bill. In this home, we actually have two different styles of patio that we have introduced there, and we've got like a winter patio and we've got a summer patio. And the summer patio is completely openable, so that it can be completely open, and you can effectively get all of that light, air, and heat from the summer onto that patio, which is great. And in the winter, we actually close the patio off completely. So it almost becomes an internalized space, which becomes an additional entertainment space, but purely on the inside, where you can actually stop the cold from coming into the house and actually utilize all of those spaces together. And when you see the reveal, you will understand exactly what we did. So something we also did in utilizing the slope of the property is raising the section where your swimming pool is in relation to your boundary. So by doing that, it makes it difficult for somebody who's standing at the boundary or just outside of the boundary to look into your property, because of that raised elevation, they cannot see the swimming pool or the entertainment area because it is slightly higher than their viewpoint. And that way we create privacy on your patio, we create privacy onto your pool, and we actually utilize the landscape to benefit us from a point of aesthetics. Inside this particular estate, there were 3 different styles that you could choose what to design, and my client here actually wanted a farm style or a modern farm style home. And there's a specific style that is identified, and in this we actually have a very steep sloping roofs, and what we did in here is we actually pulled the windows all the way up to the bottom of the ceiling, and in that way we have got some spectacular volumes that are created inside the home, which we've done in our main bedroom. We've also pulled it over our bedrooms for the kids, and also over the cottage or that main entrance area, so that we have certain areas that are actually identified by the slope of that particular roof. In our main bedroom, we have one of these roofs that actually pitch directly across the entire room. So we use that volume that goes all the way up to the top, and the glass then goes all the way to the bottom of that, and creating a beautiful window which is actually north facing and facing directly onto the park. And then together with that, we actually did a sliding door there with just a small patio where you can actually open up that sliding door and actually get the full benefit of that park, so that when you open your bedroom, you literally will feel like it's open onto the park from the first floor. What happens frequently with homes like this, where you get very style bound, and also because of the size of the home that we are trying to accommodate on the stand within all of the restrictions, sometimes you end up with bathrooms that are actually internalized, as we have in this situation as well. But What we did there is we actually did a skylight in that bathroom, so there's natural lighting coming through that bathroom any time of the day, and actually in the reveal you will see exactly what that looks like. Because of the blockiness and also accommodating all of the accommodation onto the site, in this particular case we have a 5-bedroomed home. We were only able to accommodate 3 bedrooms facing effectively on the northern side because of the width of the stand. But what we did is we created a patio in between the 2 bedrooms, actually in the middle of the home, which is completely open, and from there you look into the atrium, so that from those bedrooms you actually have access to a patio which effectively will be north facing because of the altitude of the sun during the summer, and you actually get a north facing patio in that area that you can actually use as accommodation. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if we get 200 likes, we will then reveal the actual project.